What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the One More Rep podcast. I'm your host. My name is Joseph Percher. As always, this episode is brought to you by NutriBio Supplements, Crystals Bikinis, and BioLongevity Labs. Today, I'm joined by my friends, Austin Brown, Josh Jefferson. What's up, fellas? How we doing? I
What's up,
missed
man?
the rag top
Yeah.
memo.
We gotta get you. We gotta get you in one.
I only had a couple. I've only ever had a couple, and I actually just threw them out because I ordered a bunch of new gas shit, and I'm like, I just have too much of this shit. I need to throw some of it out.
You're a headband guy, though, right, Joe? I think I've seen you. No?
Never. No, no, I'll do bandanas.
Okay, yeah. Dude, I started wearing them because when I lost the hair, like something about my eyebrow region, like doesn't block sweat at all. So it's
Yeah.
going right in the eye, man. It's like
Yeah.
poison. I started wearing those and love them.
I do. I love them. And at one point, actually, I was doing like, I ordered like a pack of, I guess the best way as a Caucasian I could describe it was like, I ordered like a couple do-rags
Yeah.
and wore those, and they were fucking sick, dude. I got to a point where I started to feel like it was just too out of character for me. Like
Sure.
I'd like film a training video and I'd be like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck am I doing? But I loved it. Honestly, I loved it. But
Is that back
anyway,
when you lived in Jersey?
no, I was down here.
Damn, I was gonna say that would have been a
No,
Jersey type of thing. You would have gotten
no,
away with it
no.
there.
All right, so we got questions. I got a bunch of random questions. Um, as coaches, what do you guys think about clients that don't pay you for months and owe you money? No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that.
No way that's a question.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Crazy. Love it.
Um, okay, as coaches, will you guys have prep clients do cardio 7 days per week?
Sure. Yeah. I think it's like for me personally, like I love just like having that daily, like for just for routine's sake. Like I'm big on like in prep, especially like making every day just look very identical. And if you're spreading it out for 7 days, like I'll have people do that most often, I would say. Sometimes it'll start with 6 and I'll give them that one day, which is kind of like a nice breather for them. But yeah, there's no problem with it. It's really just like where's fatigue, what kind of cardio? Like, am I having them do hit cardio 7 days a week for 20 minutes? No, but steady state for sure.
I agree. I like 7 days a week of cardio. Honestly, I just like it for the routine, but also from the back end of it of like total amount of time. I would rather somebody do 7 30-minute sessions as opposed to I don't know how the math works out, 6 35 minutes. Like that extra 5 minutes can be a mental drag. So I'd rather them just spread it a little bit more.
I've changed my approach on this, and I have to give credit to Compton, Justin Compton, as my coach. This is something he did with me, and I realized how big of a difference it made for me, at least mentally. Like I take a beating in prep from cardio most years. Every year before this year, it was always like I'm on the stairs, I'm doing fucking long duration stairs 7 days a week. And then getting with him, he always made it so that it was at most 5 days a week, which is great because most of the time I'm training legs twice a week. So it's like those 2 days, I don't have to get up and go do the stairs. The trade off, then, like you guys talked about, sometimes is then it's higher duration when you are going to do it. But anytime that I've gotten feedback from clients after a prep or whatever the case is, they like that there are days that there is no cardio. And for me, mentally, it was a big, like knowing, okay, I got to do 3 straight days of this shit. And then I got I get a morning off. I get a slow morning before I go train legs. It's become a big mental relief for me. I almost think it's more, I would be more likely to put someone on cardio 7 days a week in the off season, like just like some type of low duration, easy hit for the routine. Like I'm kind of doing that myself. I have cardio 5 days a week, and still on those 2 days, I get up and start my day with a walk still. So
Yeah. Hearing you answer this like makes me want to reframe my answer a little bit. Like I like the point you made about off season for sure, and then like thinking about like my clients once they get to a certain point in prep, like and we're doing some like feed up days and stuff. Like cardio is pulled on those days, or sometimes the day after. So like inevitably it
Yeah.
ends up being maybe 5 or 6
Yeah.
sessions versus 7. So yeah, I mean, I guess, thinking about it on paper, it's maybe listed as 7, but when we're feeding up and things like that, the cardio is definitely pulled out.
Yeah. It seems like too, just mentally, like, man, because at a certain point, I can remember even like, where coach has already got you on 7 days a week and you're 10 weeks out and you're like, man, I got 70 straight fucking days of cardio left. Like, this is a motherfucker to do. Um, so that's one thing that I've definitely, I don't want to say stole, but like he's inspired me to kind of rethink my approach. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times when you just have to push, and you know, there are times I have guys do 6 or 7 days a week. It's not going to be the whole time. Like if we have a crucial stretch, let's say at 4 weeks out, and I want you to be ready at 10 days out. So we're going to push hard right now. Yeah, I may have you do cardio every day for 2 straight weeks to get you in a spot where you're going to be ready ahead of time, because I don't want to do it. I don't want to have you doing cardio every day for 2 or 3 weeks when you're 3 weeks out. I'd rather get ahead of it.
Yeah.
Um,
I like the idea of like switching the intensity too. So like if you had the two leg
couple
days a
days a
week,
hit, couple days a hit,
yeah,
couple days a list. Yeah.
yeah. So like if you had 5 days a week of 5 days of the week you're doing cardio and it's like stairs, and then the two leg days you almost just like post workout moderate or real low intensity like ride the bike. Like
Yeah.
it's cardio because of the time on there and your heart rate's elevated, but like it's not
Right.
hard. Just get
Right.
some blood moving in the legs. I like that consistency too.
Yeah, and even a step further, there are some times where I've had guys. I like hit cardio for my like bigger bodybuilders in the off season, at least some percentage of it, just to. Josh, as you know, I mean, we're pushing you up into the heaviest ever body weight, and it's like, man, I'd rather us be efficient with your time instead of you putting you on the stairs at level 4 for 40 minutes. I'm going to have you do intervals for 12 minutes and achieve those heart results that we want more than anything. I'm not worried necessarily about composition. Um, but then with that, when I transition guys into prep, there's times where I may leave 2 days a hit and then it's 3 days of steady state. And I've had preps where I've had coaches that did something similar, and it oddly enough, it almost sometimes feels like the change is a relief sometimes. Like if you're burnt, like I can remember there was a time where I'm doing 4 days a week steady state on the stairs for an hour, and then 2 days a week I had like wind gates on a spin bike, and they're hard, they're fucking really hard, but it's 16 minutes or something. So it's like, man, I just got to go in and hit it hard and then I'm done. I don't have to spend a fucking hour slaving away on the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of these like calls are, they're for the physiological benefits and things, but how many of these calls are like, are we considering like what
Psychology.
the psychology of all of this? Like when I,
Yeah.
hit a guy with, hey, we're going to do 750 carbs today, no cardio, no nothing. I want you to
Right.
get 6,000 steps. Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, as excited as they are about the food, that it's like so nice just to like not have to just kill yourself that day.
100%. 100%. I'm a man. When I think about me, like being in prep or being like really pulled down or whatever, I'd be so much more excited about the lack of output than the food. I don't even give a shit if you change my diet. I'll eat my same fucking poverty diet. But tell me to take 2 days off of cardio, dude. Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm coming back to life quickly from that.
Yeah, that's why I've always done that. It's like we're kind of going against the grain a little when we're starting a high refeed day with a hard cardio session. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
let's just go ahead and get ahead of this thing.
Okay, if price and macros were the same across the board, what are your favorite protein sources?
Beef, steak. Like,
Yeah.
When when you say macros, like, are we considering the macronutrient profile of the food, or like,
No, like if in this magic scenario, it's all the same. It's all every single protein source is 8 grams of protein per ounce, 1 gram of fat per ounce. It's all $2.99 at the store when you go get it.
I'm gonna eat like an absolute shit ton of like crab and lobster,
Oh, okay, interesting.
like
I didn't
flight,
even think about like bougie shit like that.
like ocean fish for me. Like,
I would do a lot of fish for sure. I would do a ton of salmon, dude. Some like properly like even in the air fryer or done in the oven, like you get somebody that knows how to cook up some salmon, like some good quality salmon. I could probably eat that all day. There's not a time where I'm like, man, I'm turning that down. I love shrimp. I love scallops.
yes,
I was with you though. The first thing that I thought of, Josh, was just ground beef. I would just eat a fuck ton of ground beef.
I could do a lot of beef too, but I'm a
Yeah,
huge fish guy.
See,
yeah.
I live on the water. The fish turn me off immediately. Like when you said
Really?
lobster, I was like, no shot. I love sushi. I would eat if sushi was the option, I would probably go with sushi, but like I'm still picking steak over that.
So
I got you.
you love sushi, but like if you could get like a really well, like I don't mean well done like how it's cooked, but like a properly cooked nice piece of salmon, you don't want anything to do with it.
I'll tell you this, salmon is the only thing that I've ever had like true cravings for.
Oh, okay.
But I can't say that it's like cooked salmon. It's always
Oh,
sushi.
raw. Yeah, yeah.
I
Okay.
like cooked salmon. It's just for whatever reason my craving has always been raw salmon.
Yeah. Man, I'm thinking of like, sometimes you'll see it like where it's uh, like a nice cooked like salmon fillet, and then maybe there's like a little teriyaki or something across the top of it, and it's like, man, it's just so flaky and so easy to eat. I think about
Yeah.
being in an off season where I'm pounding food, and like, ground beef, it's already ground up for you. Any fish really is super. Like I would eat a ton of cod if it was all the
Yeah,
same.
like a halibut or something, just a
Yeah,
flake,
absolutely.
easy.
Absolutely. um it's funny. I've always thought that this was funny too, because that's such a common, like, oh, 4 weeks out, I'm going to all whitefish.
Yeah,
But when you think about it, it's like, man, this would be such a great application in the off season
dude, I
when you're
hate.
struggling to eat and digest food. It's like, man, if you did a lot of your protein from white fish, like you would rip through food. You kept your fats low, white fish and rice, I would rip through that.
Oh yeah, even though it takes more, from a weight
Well,
standpoint.
that's what like that's this question. It's like all things are equal. Like, I
Right.
can only
Oh,
eat eight
sure.
ounces. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I just
Oh,
stick with
easy.
chicken most of the time. And I don't I've never had a period. I had a period last year where I got really sick at one point during my cruise, like gross sick, like hospital vomiting sick.
Mhm.
And I had like been eating a lot of chicken at that point. And so for the first time ever, I had a little bit of a stretch where I was just completely turned off. So I was doing like fish and beef only. Other than that, for 15 years, dude, I could eat chicken 5 times a day.
Yeah, I've never had an issue getting tired of chicken. I mean, there's so many ways you could make your meals, right?
I
Like
know.
condiments, you name it. And then
You could do it pulled, you could do it ground,
Slow
like,
cooked,
yeah, slow cooked. Hell yeah.
air fried.
yeah, I don't ever.
Um, what do you guys think of natural bodybuilding?
I
uh,
have one currently getting ready for a show, and I wish him all the fucking luck and all the love in the world. But it is definitely when you look at the guys who turn around, they take like 2 to 3 year off seasons and then they show up the next time, they can look marginally different,
Are you
especially
talking
the
about
ones.
Justin Shire?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
But like they can look marginally different in the in a matter of like 3 years, and it's just like, I'm sorry. Better luck next time.
yeah, I
I
mean,
have a huge respect for them. You know what? And almost to from one perspective, I could almost say the guys that are really bought in, like real deal bodybuilders all year, and they're natural, I almost have an extra level of respect for them. Because to be totally honest with you, as much as I love bodybuilding, I don't know that I would do it. if I was natural, because I think natural bodybuilding sucks. That's not to say that I think natural bodybuilders suck. I have a huge respect for them. I have a huge respect literally for anyone that gets on stage. I just think it would be a fucking huge bummer to be as secluded and sacrifice so much of your social life, different gatherings, food, like to be all in on bodybuilding, and the return is you're a natural bodybuilder. Like that would suck. That would be such a bummer.
It's like getting a college degree that takes 40 years. It's like, it's like,
and you might not even get the degree by the end, dude. You might not even get it.
You might fail. So
You
it's
still
just
might
like,
fail.
and what I mean by saying that is like, I bodybuild to be big and jacked, and for people to see that I'm big and jacked, and for me to feel big and jacked. Like, I want to feel big and see like a noticeable return on my efforts over
when any one of us walks through the grocery store, even if it's a big ass t-shirt, and this is not, I mean, none of us are Mr. Olympia, but just to give a comparison, like we are all at a level that average people, I get average people that come up to me and they're like, wow, so you're a bodybuilder, huh? It's like, no questions asked. This is what I do.
Yep.
You can't really say, it's almost the opposite for guys that are natural. In clothes, you almost have no idea. If you see them in the gym or on stage, they're in a tank top or they're on stage, in trunks. It's like, okay, yeah, this guy's got some muscle. This guy's got some lines, whatever. It would just be, I just would feel like I was getting no return on all this effort. I mean, this is like, I know friends that play other sports. One of my best friends is a professional athlete and pitches for the New York Yankees. He has said to me numerous times that he is blown away by how dedicated I am and that I'm the most dedicated person he knows. He's like, it's 24/7, 365. It never stops, which I love that. I love this lifestyle, but to put all that into it and then get so little in return, man, it would just be a bummer. Yeah. Again, I almost respect them more because think about how much you have to love it to continue to do it when that is the return. Like you said, Josh, you might take a 2-year off season, kill yourself, pound food, crush it in the gym for 2 years, and you might come back and you're a pound heavier. You might come back and you're a pound lighter next time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think they're some of the best bodybuilders in the world in a lot of ways.
Sure. For sure.
Now, I think high level open bodybuilding is absolutely harder, and like the reason I say that is like the amount of shit we have to do from like a drug perspective and a health perspective is infinitely more and takes a lot of effort and time. So
think about the money, dog. If I was a natural bodybuilder, I would be driving around in a Lamborghini.
No, I'm just saying from a difficulty standpoint, though, that adds so much. But yeah, I mean, if I saw a dollar figure of what I've spent on enhanced bodybuilding at my age, I don't know how I'd react to that.
I mean, I would just say, yeah, this was the cut. Yeah. Like, I'm happy to. I don't regret a nickel of it, but it would be a fuck ton of money.
That's got me curious.
Bro, don't do that, Matt. Don't do that to yourself.
No, I'm not. No,
yeah. I respect those guys, and there are guys that are natural that get on stage that I help. I have guys right now that are in prep for natural shows, and I respect the hell out of them. You know what I mean? It's awesome, and I'm grateful for their trust and everything else. But I just don't know. I love the drugs. Like, as crazy as that sounds to say out loud, like it's fascinating to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge part of what we do, and the outcomes that we see, and between.
I just think it's cool as fuck, dude, to be able to shift your reality and shift your physical human body, like with this, carefully curated like recipe of things. And it's like, okay, I brought this up, but that means I got to bring this down. I might have to pull this out. We're 3 weeks out now. I'm pulling this out and putting this in. Like, it's fascinating to me. I get super excited about all of it.
Yeah, that's like the side. What'd you say, Josh?
I said it's like a motherboard. Like you're just moving little things all out to try and make.
You can almost say it's almost like art. Like it's like you're almost painting your own. It's yeah. I mean, of course it's science, but I mean, it's man. I love it. I'm enamored by all of it.
That's why I like coached myself for so long, is because like all like
Yeah.
the food and all that's part of this equation too, and that's super
Yep.
fun. But like, when you add all of that in, like all of these strings you're pulling at once, like that's what makes this obsessing and like
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. It's awesome.
They're missing out on a huge part of that. That's like really fun
Yeah.
and enjoyable.
Yeah.
You just have to determine like that level of risk acceptance, and like it is what it is.
Yeah. Shout out natural bodybuilders.
And dude, keep it up.
Um, I don't know if you guys have an opinion on this. I've obviously talked all about peptides, but I just have no experience with this. Opinions on high dose slew at like 5 to 20 milligrams per day. Pros and cons of running it in off season versus prep. So have you guys seen that some companies offer like these 20 milligram tablets of slew? Have you guys used them?
I've
I've
seen
never,
it. I've seen it, and like the company I work with, Straight, like there's a lot of talk
Whoa,
about
don't be promoting different shit on this show.
hey, hey. They talk about a lot of these. It's all these like
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
master type people, and all these
yeah, yeah,
are doing these experiment. And then like the guy that runs the people you're
yeah.
with,
Brian, yeah.
he did a crazy experiment with like
He was
40 minutes or something,
no, he did
400.
400 megs.
400. Yeah. So like, and they're selling 250 microgram capsules. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know much about it, but I have seen that. As far as like the off season and prep thing, like obviously it makes sense in a prep setting, right? Because it's an exercise mimic, yada yada yada. But like, does that have application in the off season as well? For sure. Like, just to keep like metabolic rate like in a good spot and composition in a good spot. I've been running it this growth phase, and like, I mean, I'm pushing really hard, and like labs work looked really good, and I'm hesitant to say that doesn't attribute in some way to that.
it absolutely does.
Yeah, keep it. It's obviously working at a mitochondrial level, like
100%.
keeping these things like very efficient as we're like pushing drugs and food, and like it's just another prophylactic ancillary, in my opinion, right?
It's kind of miraculous. All the peptide stuff is pretty incredible when you look at it. I mean, like when you're getting blood work back from clients, or I went and got my blood work done 2 weeks post show, and it was no joke the best lab work that I have ever gotten, including
Yeah.
before I ever used PEDs. The best lab work that I've ever gotten. My EGFR was like 120 or something, where it's like this is off the charts. Which kidney function, I believe, is something that could be attributed to either the SLU or I think maybe the MOTS-C or the combination of the two. Obviously, the Retta is doing a ton on your insulin sensitivity, on your triglycerides, on the cholesterol, all these different things. So I think, I'm kind of grouping it all together. But the benefits from all of these different peptides are not solo to contest prep or fat loss. It's just making your body better at whatever the goal is. Whatever direction that you're already going in, it's just going to make you better at it. So again, like SLU and MOTS-C, I've continued those as I've transitioned to growing and eating in a surplus because it helps with insulin sensitivity. It helps your internal health. Like you said, metabolic rate, composition. Why wouldn't I want all these things when I'm eating a ton of food and trying to grow? I don't want to just get fat and soft.
It's not acting on your appetite.
Dude,
So,
I'm still I'm using Retta while I'm trying to grow, and my appetite is ravenous, dude.
but like that would be a consideration with Retta, where it's like not with the slew, but like yeah, you wouldn't
Yeah.
be doing 5 milligrams of Retta right now, but like
No, no, no.
you're finding that perfect line to where you're getting the benefits and you're not destroying your appetite, which
Yeah.
might benefit in prep if you're running a little harder, right?
Yeah. 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 I think it's with that, like that is just your dose is going to depend on the season and what you're trying to get from it. I'm trying to get the background health benefits without even realizing I'm on it. I don't feel like I'm on it.
Yep.
And it's, man, like especially wearing this glucose monitor and stuff and seeing the positive effect of my insulin sensitivity on a ton of food, on a ton of GH. Like it's incredible.
Awesome.
my only concern for going high dose with that stuff would be that that person is probably also running other things that are helping with the mitochondria. So something like a methylene blue. So like You might have to cycle off it. I think you could probably run lower dose slew year round, but if you turn around and start going into that 5 milligrams or 20 milligrams, you're almost 100% going to have to come off and start running some SS31 or something to just get your mitochondria to kind of like chill out for a
Catch
second.
back up. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
redlining it all day is probably the worst thing you could do in terms of long-term health.
That's a great point. I think that would probably be best served. Like save that big mega dose shot at it for when you're in a prep or a fat loss phase.
That overspin of the mitochondria, though, like from my understanding, can cause like one of the biggest side effects would be like a fatigue or something.
Yeah,
So,
so you're gonna feel buried.
right. So, like, that's a consideration of doing that.
I've seen people that overspin it and that it manifests in their skin.
Mm,
Like they get almost like a psoriasis looking effect to their skin.
fuck. So, yeah, I mean, there's
So you got to be careful with it. Like we're all just lab rats with this shit. So it's like you, and the thing is with the peptides, even considering that all of the different PEDs or drugs have this crazy variance one person to another, it seems like a even bigger window for some of these peptides where I know guys that are taking a milligram of retatrutide a day and they're still starving. They still cannot get enough food. I did less than 1.5 milligrams during my prep. And at the hardest parts of my prep, I can remember being like, meh, like, I guess I could eat. Like, so you have to figure out like what makes sense for it's going to be more individual and custom to you individually, even than your, basic PED cycle.
that's super interesting to hear, man.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder about like quality and stuff too. But like, if it's a trusted source and things
No,
like
it's trusted, dude. Yeah.
that, well, it makes me wonder because do you remember I ran it for the Arnold prep and I was kind of
Yeah.
like, and then
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. And I was like, I was running it pretty high, and then
Yeah.
I think it was like at least five or something. And I was like,
Yeah.
kind of. And then I put people in, a half meg every day or every other day, and they're like, just like can't eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
What is the most rewarding part of coaching?
Changing lives.
Yeah.
I have a lot more lifestyle than prep clients. So like I mean, I've helped somebody as we were talking about this. I had a woman who lost 30 pounds and then got pregnant and like she was not supposed to be able to get pregnant. Like she brought a life into the world. I'm not saying I
Yeah.
know anything about fertility. Let me put that out there. We just
Yeah.
lost someone. Next thing I knew, she was pregnant.
Yeah.
So like that was a really cool experience.
Yeah. Because you helped her get there. You probably helped her lead her to a place she wouldn't have gotten on her own, which is awesome. I was gonna say that's the real answer, and like especially having I have tons of lifestyle people too that will never get on stage, but honestly, like if I'm just being like blunt here, the best part about coaching is winning.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Like but
Like that's
we,
the goal. Like yeah, like you want to be better than the last time, or you want to help the client like maybe achieve something they feel like they would have never done it without you. All that stuff, those are all wins. That all feels good. My favorite part about coaching is being at the show and they call my guy to the middle, or getting that phone call after knowing that the guy's going up for awards, and then you get the excited phone call after, and it's like we fucking did it.
that's such a small like piece of what we do, like in a look of a year, like being
Yeah.
in the trenches at a show, doing a peak, right? Like I'm getting, probably a dozen opportunities at this a year, but
I was
like,
just gonna say maybe 10 all year.
right, yeah, max, right? So that's like, but that moment is like what I live for. Like
Yeah.
I get as much out of that as like I get out of my personal bodybuilding. Like
Yeah.
I'm locked the fuck in, and like it's so much fun, man. Like
It's
it's
the
the most
best.
the stress of it all, and like all the variables are like maxed out, and but like the enjoyment of it is
The
too.
way, and it's like a wave of relief too, like for how high the level of stress and pressure is, like especially when you're there in person with someone, like it just feels like it's like, man, they are going to be like complete, like this person's mood and everything is going to be completely dependent on whether or not we get this win, and you get it, and it's like it's that same level of like relief and excitement. It's there's nothing like it.
when I have a client like walk out for their like individual presentation and first in the box, and like that's the only time as a coach during a peak if you truly know you nailed it.
Yep.
Because you an hour out in the Airbnb, they can look fucking badass. And but like in your heart, that's still a 99% confidence until they stand in that square. And
Yep.
when you see that and it's nailed, like that's the best feeling ever as a coach. And that
It's super nerve wracking. Even if you were backstage with them, say 15 minutes before they went out, and then you slip
oh
back around
no.
and go sit in the crowd, man, when that client starts walking out from behind the curtain, I am sick to my stomach nervous, dude. Because
I'm
it you never know. They could have freaked out. Someone could have said something to them that put them in a bad space mentally. But then when they nail it look wise, and you're like, okay, that's almost the first piece of relief because it's like, hey, I did my job. Like, you're on the money. But then winning, there's just nothing better than winning.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would say the only other thing I would say to that is like just showing people to bodybuild like you're supposed to bodybuild. Like
Yep.
I fucked up so much stuff in the first 10 years of my bodybuilding. And that's
Oh
what
yeah.
makes me so passionate about coaching is like getting these guys that are hungry for it. And like this is the way, man. Like I messed all this
Yes.
up so I can show you how to like not mess it up and be way better than me, you know?
Even besides all the shit that I did on my like spent most of my time without a coach learning, messing shit up. But I've been pretty lucky and I've had like long-term relationships with most of my coaches, but I've had bad coaching experiences too. And I know how much that sucks when you are someone that is all in, you're giving this coach everything. So you're just a reflection of their process. And when it's a bad result or situation, that sucks. So then to know that you are giving a person like, they're thrilled with the whole process, it's like, yeah, this is awesome. Like this is why I do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, hmm. What to do when one hits that burnout phase in bodybuilding?
I'm laughing because see, I know how you feel right now, Joe. um, I I would be hesitant to call it a burnout phase. I think there's phases to being a bodybuilder, and it's the levels of maturation as an
Yeah.
athlete. Okay, if you think you're gonna have that like psycho obsessive feel that you had the first 6 months of like for me it was flipping through muscle and strength magazines and fucking Ronnie and
Oh
shit
yeah.
like if you think you're gonna feel like that until you're 35, you're wrong. Like there's a lot of like these phases that you're gonna go through of like motivation and all these things, but like all that goes away and eventually it's all you know. So like you just have to say like, am I a bodybuilder or am I not? Like,
Right.
which one is it? You know, like,
Am I in this for the long haul or not?
yeah, are you fighting it? Because if you're fighting it, man, like, think long and hard if you want to do it or not. If you want to be a bodybuilder, then okay, like, just every day is going to look the same, accept it, and like feel that inside you that I'm a bodybuilder and like this is what I want to do. Like, that should cure that, like, feeling of fighting the process
I
of like,
also think there's so many like good resources, free information, even if you are without a coach, even if you can't afford a coach. If you are not getting ready for a show, like if you love to bodybuild, even if there are aspects of it that you're stale on or whatever the case is, there are enough ways to skin this cat that you need to figure it out so that you still feel excited about it. And if you can't do that, then it's because you probably don't really want this.
yeah,
Like
I mean,
I am blown away by how often on a daily basis we know people like this. We see it all the time. People gifted beyond fucking belief where it's like, man, you didn't hear from them for 6 months and then they come back and make a post. First day back, just getting back into it. And it's like, motherfucker, I cannot relate. I have never, ever had I never let life happen. I never let a breakup or something that was when my mom was sick in the hospital, any of this shit. Like I relied on bodybuilding through all that.
yep. Yeah, I mean, it's a real bodybuilder. It is your top three priorities in your life.
It's
Everything,
top one, like most of the time.
No, I'm saying like it's 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
absolutely.
and,
Absolutely.
and everything else comes after that. And your significant
Yeah.
other and anything else you have in your life has to accept that
They
because
have to be part of it. Quite honestly, I've done it all, and I've for the first time I'm in an awesome, healthy relationship, and it's because we do it together.
yeah, I mean, that's it, man. You just have to fully accept like that this is you and this is your life. But that's my 2 cents on that one.
What about you, Josh? You're quiet over there, partner.
Yeah, I look at it from a completely different perspective on this
Okay,
one.
good. Tell
It's
us.
good.
I obviously I had the long football background. And I learned at like a relatively young age that with football, like the things to get you better at football were not on the field all the time. Like going to the gym, eating correctly, making sure you slept well. So I almost look at it like there's no such thing as burnout from bodybuilding because if you're going to go to bed, you're going to wake up and you're going to do some version of movement, you're going to eat some food, and you're going to potentially go to the gym, you're essentially bodybuilding or your body worsening at the end of the day. So which one do
Yes.
you want to do? Like, I am not in the camp that I want to get worse at anything that I ever put my mind to or ever even like I don't like half-assing anything. I'd just rather not do it. So it's like if I'm gonna not quote unquote bodybuild, then that also means I'm not gonna eat, I'm not gonna sleep, I'm not gonna go to the gym, I'm not gonna do shit. I'm gonna sit on my fucking couch all day. And I literally don't think I physically could do that.
There's a quote that I just was reminded of listening to you nail that, by the way, where it was like every single day that you wake up with your actions, you are either choosing to get better or choosing to get worse because nobody stays the same.
Love
Yeah.
that.
I,
And
I just I personally couldn't even when you said the question, obviously Delilah was going nuts over here, so I had it muted, but like I couldn't I couldn't even fathom the question because you're gonna wake up and the first thing you do is you get out of bed and you take 2 steps. That's two of your 10,000. Just
Yep.
get it fucking done. I don't really have a lot of tolerance for that question. I'm sorry.
I feel the same. Even reading it, I felt the same way. I was like, what the fuck is this?
well, that's what I mean. Just like accept it. And like if you're in that weird middle space where like you name those things that you're doing throughout the day, Josh, like if the food you're eating is shit, if you
Change
do
the food.
yeah, and if you do go to the gym and it's half-assed, like what now you're like it's the either do something completely else that you can enjoy and get progress in or like or do those things and do them at the highest level you can because yeah, I mean I love the way you put that as far as like are you going to win today or it's basically like winning the day. Your goal is to win every single day. So um yeah.
I even look at it from the perspective of like when you walk in the gym and like your worst day of prep and you look at your workout and you got 13 sets to do. Fuck, you have 13 sets and then this is over. Like, I have 13 sets to prove something right now. They're like, I don't care how fucking tired I am. I'm gonna get this shit done. No one's taking this from me.
There are opportunities, right?
Yeah. I mean, I text Joe after one of my leg days and I was like, I was really fucking I'm still a little heated about it. I was like, I was pissed off with how I performed because I felt like I had more. And like watching the videos back, I might not have had a single rep more on any of the videos that I took. But I was like, I felt like I missed out on an opportunity to get better, and I have 86 or 80, 83 opportunities left to train my legs to get them better for the next time I plan on stepping on stage, which I guess I just said what show I'm doing, if anyone wants to do that math. But
I don't know that people care that much.
yeah, so, but like realistically, like you only have so many opportunities at this.
Yeah.
So,
I like what you said that you're not going to take it from me.
no, this is highly personal. The whole journey is highly personal because guess what? You're the only one inside there. You're the only one in your body.
I got two about coaching, kind of similar. First one, is it truly worthwhile to have a coach in the off season? Also, I guess so. Like
Yes.
besides prep,
Yes. I think
absolutely.
it's more important.
Yeah, I love that point, man. I mean, the way you look on stage is a direct reflection of the efforts you put into the off season period, like outside of being peeled. Like the way you actually like the amount of muscularity you have, like as soon as you buy into the off season being every bit of as important as prep, you become a better bodybuilder.
There's one quote that came to mind. Again, I'm going to drop a quote, but
Love it.
um, it just has run with me, especially like at a certain point. I was this person for a long time. Like I started bodybuilding. My first show was 2014. And outside of my first prep that I did by myself, I would hire a coach or get with a coach for prep. And day after I started my own thing.
Yep.
And I had a lot of years that I look back on where I spun my wheels and made pretty marginal progress, if any. Sometimes there's times I came in lighter and it's like, man, I just wasted a whole fucking year. Right. Um, and then at some point I was like, man, I need to hand it over to somebody all the time. Like I need to be in this all the time. I need to be all in all the time. And the quote that I'm talking about is that champions are made in the off season.
Yep.
You get to thrive and succeed and win in front of all of these people because of the work that you do when nobody is watching.
Yeah.
So that should answer the question. I'm not going to try to sell you on hiring us or hiring someone else. Like if you are serious about being a better bodybuilder the next time that you get on stage and improving your physique, it's a no-brainer. The best, most genetically gifted humans that planet Earth has to offer have a coach all year.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
they do, then who do you think you are?
I think that tells you a lot about like answers the question of like why are you doing this? Like if you're doing
Right.
it to compete, like I think you need to work hard to like reframe your mindset around how you think about this stuff. Like you need to do this to become a better bodybuilder, and that's in the off season. So like most, I mean, you guys probably know plenty of people like this. Most like high level guys, like prepping's cool, but like they love the off season because
I
like
love
that,
the off season, bro. I love the off season.
yeah, that's when I'm like, that's yeah, I'm seeing my body get leaner, but like seeing new tissue on your frame, like
That gym performance, like just walking around in a certain shirt or something, the sleeves are a little bit more snug, or you take a set of check-in pictures in the off season. It's like, man, that arm work that I'm putting in, it is paying off. I could see it in this front double. Man, the off season is the fucking best, and you're gonna get the most out of that by having someone that is beyond where you are, and they've been beyond where you are or want to go, is guiding it. Like they're your tour guide. They've already been to the top of the mountain. You're at the bottom of the mountain by yourself.
yeah.
So it makes all the sense in the world to come and hire someone that has climbed this mountain over and over and over again.
I love the way you put that. That's a really good way to say it.
I mean,
Agreed.
I say it because I see, I think I don't want to put out the wrong message. Having any coach is probably better than a younger guy trying to go about it on their own.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I see online someone, I've had this conversation numerous times, like in DMs or something. Younger guy, big structure, wants to be an open pro, doesn't want anything to do with men's physique or classic. And then it's like it reaches a point, they're asking me my experience, asking me my opinion on this, that, and the third. And then it's like finally I'm like obliged to say, hey man, you working with anybody? And then they send me the profile of the, men's physique pro that they're working with. And it's like, I'm sorry, you just said that you wanted to climb the ranks of open bodybuilding, and you have this guy that's 165 pounds telling you what it takes to get big in the off season. How would they know?
It's that logical.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Similar question. How important is it to have a posing coach?
I firmly believe that depends on how you are as a human being. Like I've found a correlation between if you can dance, you can pose. If you can control your body in space, you might not need a posing coach.
Yeah.
Um, I've had one posing coach, one posing session, and at the end of the session, he quite literally said to me, you're nearly a perfect natural poser. If you've never had a lesson before, you're a naturally perfect poser. And I said, all right, cool. And I never hired another posing coach. You guys have
It
both
is
helped me.
something that naturally, like, it is. It can be taught, but it is definitely something that there's like kind of an innate ability.
Yeah, I think it can be fixed with a posing
It can
coach,
be
but
fixed. It can be
if
fixed.
you're naturally just a good poser, you might not need a coach. You might just need to tweak some things or have somebody else take a look at you and say, hey, this looks a little better or that looks a little better.
No, I agree with you, man. I would say like 95% of people need one. Like I'm in the same boat as you where I've never had a posing coach or anything. But like I think it takes a deep understanding of the sport and like how the poses should actually look. Like some people like don't even like really grasp that. They learn a pose, but like they don't even actually they don't understand like the depth of like why this is the way it looks and like what we need to be doing within each pose. So like not too many people have that understanding. And that's not like a knock on anyone's like intellectual ability or anything like that. I think it's just like an eye for the sport, essentially.
Yeah.
Um, but then, like, you have to have that, and then mixed with like the athleticism and ability to move your body in space and control your body and have that eye hand coordination, essentially, or neuromuscular connection where you can learn these cues yourself. But I think you can expedite the process like a lot by getting, with someone early. But like I've coached a lot of posing and like it's something I'm really passionate about. It's something like I could probably do at a high level if I didn't coach. But it's so much more a mental thing than it is physical. And that's what like people need to understand. So like you have to get with someone who has like a really good understanding of bodybuilding poses. And it's something I'm really cautious about as far as like recommending people, because
So,
it's the new thing where everybody and their mom's a posing coach because it's like an area of opportunity because there weren't any and now there's like they're popping up everywhere because like the online coaching market is saturated. So they're like, oh yeah, I'll just be a posing coach. But it's like, man, you really got to understand that stuff like really in depth to be able to coach it. And so I'm just like advise people to be cautious, but yeah, I mean posing is a lot harder than most people think, and there's a lot more involved in it. So um yeah.
it takes a lot more effort than people I think realize.
Oh
Like
man,
to
when I
be eventually good at it, it takes a lot more.
yeah, I mean,
Um,
people have a session with me, man, and it's like by the end of it, their ass is kicked, and they're like
oh yeah,
they had no idea that that's what it was going to be
that's the
like.
standard. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm going to take a different perspective from this. I would agree with basically everything both of you guys said. Huge, um, agree big time that getting with a good posing coach will expedite it infinitely. You will get better so much faster if you do get a posing coach, a good posing coach. My big beef with this, I guess, profession at large is that it is mostly frauds.
that's what I mean.
And I also think that it's a very easy racket to sell where you see, maybe a highly regarded prep coach has their little go-to minion that they send people off to for posing. And it becomes like this thing where they bounce clients and revenue off each other. I think that it's and no and a lot of times like more so I think than actual coaches, it's kind of hard to verify if someone is actually good or not. Like all it takes is one person to say, "Oh, this guy's good." And then that client just naively will go hire that person because one guy said so. So I'm very, very careful about who I recommend as well. There's maybe three guys that I can think of that I recommend that I know that are like accepting like spaces to do posing coach.
Yeah,
The thing that my overwhelming feeling about this is that this should be part of the service that a good coach provides. Like I've never once marketed myself as a posing coach, but I've been doing this for damn near 15 years. I am a good poser. Every single person that I've ever worked with presented better because of my eye and the things that I can tell them. like you said, having an eye for bodybuilding is like the biggest thing. There's been so many times I'm prepping a client and I may give them feedback every check-in. Like, hey, I need to see more of your back shoulder. Hey, this, that. And then it's like, oh, well, I hired so and so as a posing coach and he told me X, Y, and Z. And it's like, well, then this motherfucker must be blind if he told you that, because that's crazy. There's
Also,
such
I don't say.
What's that? Right. And it's like, man, you're my product. Like you represent my business and you are a product of the things I've told you to do. So like a lot of times I think it's lazy coaching when someone like just says like, oh, go hire a posing coach. Like now I will say as a caveat to that, there are times, especially with first timers or people that are totally new to actually competing and they're going to compete for the first time. I will say, hey, I can help you, but you're seeing that it's like, as a coach, you're seeing that it's so, there's such a disconnect or they're so new. You might say, hey, it might be worthwhile to go get a couple sessions with this person, or even it's at the risk of the person not being great. There are some people that are just lacking the body awareness or athleticism to such a degree that there are some people you need them to go work with someone in person, and I can't offer that. Like if I'm in Florida and you're my client in Canada or in California or in Texas, like I may say, hey, it might not be a bad idea to try to find somebody in person, even if it's somebody in the gym or whatever, because sometimes you see somebody and they are just it's going to take more than a couple of cues over FaceTime.
No, I agree with that fully, man. Getting your hands on somebody and like telling them like, hey, feel this and
Right.
manipulate this way and watch me do this in person
Right.
and see you activate something. Posing is all about those light bulb moments that'll stick with you forever. You're like, oh, there's my glute. And like I felt it and
Yep.
I understand it and I understand that cue now and what it meant. And now I can hit that every time. So like, yeah, the in-person thing, like I have like clients that I've coached posing and like that are good at posing now. And if I know another client who's competing is near them, I will like have them help them out.
Yeah, that's good. Because sometimes, man, they're so not getting it that at least if you're in person, you can literally put them in the pose, like move them into the pose, and then say, just memorize what this feels like, and do this.
Feel this. Close your eyes and
Yes.
feel this fit mentally. It's like I said, it's a physical outcome, but posing is all here. Like you should be
Yep.
able to hit every pose with your eyes closed in a mirror, open your eyes, and it looked away exactly how you imagine it.
Yep. And that's
Austin,
good posing. That's good. Like the people that can do that, because a lot of times, man, it's so funny. Like, when you compete and you come off stage, like, and you have your family there or people that aren't like, friends, whatever, people that aren't bodybuilders. And there's times where they'll be like, oh, did you hear us? Or, oh, is it crazy being up there in the crowd? And it's like, I don't know about you guys. I am basically blacked out when I'm on stage.
Bro, I'm so
So
dialed.
so what you're doing is like purely what you've trained your body to do, like almost as if your eyes are closed.
Yeah, I mean, you're just like in that zone, right?
Yeah, yeah. Um, all right, I think that's a good spot to end it. What were
I
you gonna
was going to
say,
say,
Josh?
how often are you high? How often are you high when you pose, Austin? Like practice posing.
I would say fairly often, and some of the most productive light bulb moments I've had have been like pre-shower, pretty stoned, hit right in front of the mirror, running through my rounds, holding them hard, and like when I
You're like,
make
oh, this is how it feels.
yeah, making a change to a pose that looks a little better
Yeah,
than it did before,
yeah.
like yeah, most often all the times those are under the influence.
I will
That's how I
say I'm
found my glute
excluded.
side
I'm
chest.
excluded now from the habit, but I spent 10 years bodybuilding stoned.
It's
And that
such
was always I always felt like I was in such better command of my body. I always felt like my mind and my body were so much better connected. Like I solely practiced stoned for 10 years.
Yeah. I I found when in my side chest, I was never able to hit my glute until I started posing high. and then I was able to keep my hamstring relaxed and get my glute to contract.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
the only way I could do it. And then I had to literally wean myself off of smoking in order to figure it out without it.
Mm.
And then I wound up just smoking before I stepped on stage anyway.
I
So
was
it
gonna
was,
say I smoked a pen or some form of weed basically every show that I ever did until this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
One story, I did my entire universe routine high that I made up 5 minutes before walking on stage.
That's what I've done every time. I've never once practiced a routine. I'm just winging it. I pick a song that I know. I used to play the drums, or I can play the drums. So I have a good understanding of like rhythm and tempo. And so I will pick something that I'm familiar with, like when the certain drops are going to be or when to hit a certain pose. And I'm just winging it.
Yeah, I'm a post pre guy for sure. It's like, let's figure this out.
Yeah. I will say this, and this is like separate from everything, but just as a piece of advice, I think that this is for anyone that competes, especially like as an amateur in the NPC, it's cool to do a good routine. And I know that people like feel a level of like that it's artistic or they're expressing themselves, right? But I would caution you this as an amateur, the only pictures that are going to go on the NPC website are of you doing your routine. So I would encourage you, right, or your individual. So I would encourage you to keep that in mind when you go up and hit the shots that you want to represent you on the NPC website and online. Because a lot of times these photographers are just clicking away. They don't really have a sense of when you're in the shot, when you're not. So a lot of times if you see people start doing like a lot of artistic shit and they're all flowy with it and they're hitting the Arnold 3/4 turn and all this stuff, their entire profile page on the NPC website is them in between shots and you don't see a single thing. And it's like, dude, your front lat spread is your best pose. Why didn't you just come out and hit that square to the camera? So that's like, I say that I'm winging it, but the last 4 or 5 times I've competed, that has just been my thought. I've thought, what are my best shots? And I'm going to come out and just hit my 6 or 7 best shots that I want to represent this current look.
Online forever.
Forever.
And hold the pose for
hold it. Like, just like, I almost think about my routine as like a photo shoot or something. Like, I want to come out and get 7 awesome pictures of one of each of these poses. Like you said, I'm going to hold each pose for 6 or 7 seconds.
Yeah, that's so much more important to you than how good a 60-second routine was that people talked about for an hour.
For 30 seconds. For the you know what is too true. Like, people think that they're really doing something. It's like, one, they already judged you at prejudging and it's over. Cool. 2, most of the time, if they are still even sitting at the table, the judges do not even look up from their sheet while you're on stage for your routine at finals.
No,
in terms of amateurs.
It's for your grandma who came to finals.
That's it. So if it's truly just to get those pictures, well, then go out and get the pictures taken that you want. And that's the end of my rant.
It's a really good point to make. I wish I would have done that earlier in my career.
Me too. No, I used to come out and try to time it to the music and all this certain shit. And then I would go on the website and be like, oh man, I can't wait to see how I look. And it's like in these bizarre fucking
arms everywhere.
Yeah, like T-Rex arms, my guts out. Like, it's like, man, this is brutal.
Yeah, I can relate, man. That's hilarious.
All right, guys. We're gonna wrap it here. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Like the video, share it around, send it to a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. And until next time, we are out.